welcome to video 1 of Grace's Live Below the Line journal video update series. So, this is me, welcome to my bedroom. I was about to play a ditty on my ukulele for you, apparently that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. Etc. Sorry about the lighting, I know it's a little bit blue, or it looks blue on my computer, but you know, I'll probably improve on this throughout the week, but today it's already 11:50, you know, so I'm thinking I should probably just get a video up and not really fuss about that stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit unedited and spontaneous this week, a bit less flash refined video editing than I'd like, but you know, that's kind of cool. We'll just roll with that. So you're probably wondering, what is Live Below the Line? Well, I'm going to tell you. Live Below the Line is a fantastic campaign designed to raise awareness and money around poverty, and that's kind of done through a more interactive way where you have $10 for 5 days and you've got to live off $2 a day worth of food. So, and I guess that the $2 represents what living in poverty would be like if it was in Australia. So it's not like, oh, $2 a day, you know, over here that doesn't go far, but if you were in another country you'd be able to get heaps for it. No, that's actually relative to our country. And the point is that, you know, 1.4 billion people live below the line in poverty. So this is my way, and anyone else who participates' way of personally experiencing what that's like, which is an important thing to me. That's probably a massive part of why I chose to do this, because I only heard about it pretty much right at the end of when it was happening, or just before the actual event. So I was like, yeah, spontaneously, let's just try this for, you know, 5 days, because I wanted the experience, you know, and I wanted to, I guess, learn to pay attention to what I'm eating, learn what it feels like in that sense of helplessness, which I guess I've heard some people describe it like, that comes with, you know, knowing that you can be surrounded by food but you can't have it, you know, which is quite an interesting thing. And yeah, just being really conscious of what I'm eating, and I think part of that as well is also realizing how much food can actually cost. And because I'm horrible in terms of spending half my money at uni buying food. I just don't plan my meals very much. It's not really, what I'm eating isn't really at the forefront of my mind, and I think that, you know, not having to think about that is kind of a luxury. So I'm hoping this week will help me to not only learn to cook a bit more than I know, but yeah, appreciate what I'm eating and plan better, basically. And maybe the money that I save could go to a better cause, you know. So having acknowledged all that, I guess we should get down to day 1. What's happened on day 1? Just so you know, my first list of things that I bought, this is my little receipt here, are based on Julie Goodwin, who is a master chef. Her list of recommended ingredients, because she actually did some stuff for Live Below the Line, came up with all these recipes that you can cook with throughout the week, and the ingredients, you know, and it works out to under $10. So I was like, cool, you know, and because I kind of planned it all last minute, and it was literally like, wow, I have to plan everything in a couple of hours, and then tomorrow I have to start living below the line, you know, what am I going to do? So I was like, quick, pick something. So I basically said, okay, I'm just going to buy what she's recommended, I'm going to cook what she's recommended, that sounds fine. Which is good and bad, you know? So I've basically bought, this is what I had bought, salt, tomatoes in a tin, corn kernels in a tin, pasta, self-raising flour, butter, eggs, pumpkin, brown onions and garlic. Okay, so that's what she recommended, which is fine. I didn't actually read the rules properly when I started this challenge. I didn't realise that you can't buy something she recommended a 400 gram tin of corn, and I can only find 420, and it was a bit more than, you know, I was supposed to spend on it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just buy the 420, take out the 20 grams extra, and take out that extra money as well, so I can get the right amount. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds fine. And then read that you can't really do that. You have to, when you're buying stuff, you have to factor in the bulk amount of buying, which I guess makes sense. It's part of, you know, if I was living in Australia, I couldn't just, well, actually I probably could, but it's, you know, you can't just go out and buy one sesame seed or something somewhere necessarily. It's not a very common thing that you can buy things based on the gram, so it's kind of realistic in that sense, I guess. In that sense as well though, it can be a lot harder when you're trying to do the challenge by yourself, because you can't pull your money together and buy something like sugar, you know? Or you can when there's two of you, but when there's one of you, you can't really afford those luxuries, so that's interesting as well. So I've got a mate, Lauren, if you're watching this. We're both doing it this week, which is going to be great, to have someone else to relate to when I'm struggling, which I did a bit of today, and yeah, hopefully we get through it okay. But basically today I actually started the day at a friend's house, and you know, was freaking out about what to eat for breakfast, because I'm a massive breakfast person. So I was like, what am I gonna have? Had a fossil through the cupboard, and they had oats. So I didn't actually know how much they cost, but I decided to work it out when I got home. So I had a cup of oats with water, which was essentially like porridge, which was pretty decent, you know. I was actually pretty pleased with that. But I couldn't actually eat all of it, so I put some in a container to take to uni, to have for lunch kind of thing, or like a midday sort of snack. So, and you know, can you imagine like lumpy porridge in a clear container? Like, it's not very appealing, let's face it. So I took that with me to uni, and I'm also the kind of person who has a bit of a threshold when it comes to overexposure of a particular flavour. So if I eat too much, if I eat too much of the one flavour, like, my body just starts to react and I start gagging, like, I start feeling physically sick. I can't have any more of it. So even though the porridge was fine, I kind of reached a point and I'm like, you know, I can't deal with this. So I took it to uni and then heated it up, and, you know, at that point I was starting to get to that level of, like, I can't have much more of this flavour, like, and I actually had to throw out, like, the last bite of it, and I was like, what is this? It's like 10 cents that bite, you know. That was pretty depressing, but you do what you have to do. So yeah, I had oats, and then I got home from uni, and I thought to myself that in all of Julie's recipes that I'm supposed to be working with this week, I had 2 extra eggs, and I'm like, oh wow, you know, awesome. I've got to go to work really soon. I'll just have 2 eggs. So I cooked up eggs, and then realised that when I was looking at the recipes to see where they were and count them up, I actually missed a recipe. So of the 4 recipes that I'm supposed to be working off this week, one of them has 2 eggs in it, and I don't have the eggs for that recipe. So I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do about that. I'm kind of freaking out, but hopefully I'll work something out before the end of the week. But I've noticed that that's something I didn't plan very well, is actually that all of Julie's meals are things that you can't really, like, it's not like I have rice, a staple thing. Like, a lot of things have flour in them, or a lot more preparation. Like the soup obviously has a fair bit of preparation. Yeah, frittata. It's just, I didn't really think about that in terms of what am I going to take to uni, what's quick to whip up if I'm just hungry and just need some food. Like, I don't really have anything like that as much, so I guess that stressed me out today. Like, I got home from work and I've just been spending the last little while cooking up pumpkin soup, and had like pumpkin and garlic pasta tonight. That was pretty decent, but you know, it was also not, I guess, a bit insensitive that oh, you know, it's just part of the facts of living at this house while this is happening. But Dad was playing MasterChef in the next room, so you know, there's amazing dishes going on the telly, and I'm like, yeah, kind of hungry. And then Ellen couldn't eat all her dinner, so she actually had to throw some in the bin, and I'm like, you know, it's like, I can eat that, like, but no, I'm not gonna. So it's amazing how much discipline I've already had to use. But I think, you know, if I'd planned it better, I wouldn't have freaked out so much today, because I was just really stressed about portions and what I'm going to do to substitute certain things in my recipe list. I basically ended up dropping the salt, because the amount that Julie said I was going to spend on eggs at Coles wasn't actually the right amount, so I had to get rid of the salt. So that's a bit of a bummer. But I think garlic was quite expensive. Garlic will go a fair way. I have to say, it's already making me think of things differently. Like, I work on checkout, and 15 cents a bag, plastic bags that people buy, you go, oh, 15 cents. You know what, when it comes to $2 a day, 15 cents can, you know, mean the difference between feeling full and just, like, being, you know, that annoying hungry that means you can't go to sleep. Like, so it's already making me think a bit about food's expenditure, which is good. It's interesting. But yeah, I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen this coming week, but, you know, I'm up for the adventure, I guess, and I kind of envision this week as a sort of, I don't know, contemplative, like bringing it back to basics kind of week, but it started off a bit stressful, and I have to get up in pretty much 6 hours to go to work, and then pretty much I've got a day of like 6 till 6, so work and then uni, and then I'm going to come home and I'm going to be tired and I'm going to be grumpy and I'm going to have to cook my dinner, so unless I want pumpkin again, because all I really have is pumpkin meals, so that's going to be interesting. Good thing I like pumpkin though. Like that's pretty good, but yeah, I don't know, it's going to be an adventure, that's for sure. So I guess in terms of what you guys can do, you know, words of encouragement will be fantastic throughout this week. Hopefully I don't bore you too much with my videos. They probably won't all be as long as this one. This was more of an introductory kind of thing. And also, if you want to, you can head to the website Live Below the Line and sponsor me. Hey! Which would be fantastic. Like, I know I left the run quite late, so I've put like $100 as my ideal sponsorship amount. And, you know, kind of made a pact with myself that if no one sponsors me, I'll just cover the extra. But, you know, it'd be great to see some people getting behind this. And, yeah, even just supporting me. Like, I think you can do that on my page as well. Just leave words of encouragement. So, yeah, it's amazing, like, noticing how much, you know, I guess freaking out about not only cooking, which I normally freak out about as well, but cooking with such restrictions, like, the effect that was having on me, like... And I got so close to giving up today just because everything kind of went wrong in terms of my planning. I'm like, no, pull through this, you know. So I'm glad I'm doing that. I think it's going to be an eventful but good week. So I'm looking forward to keeping you all updated on that. And that's about it from me for today. I'm looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow. So excuse the feralness that comes with the end of the day, but yeah, you love it. Alright. Night, guys.